Hi folks, welcome to RJA Impact. Today we're going to be giving a brief talk about 10 conspiracy theories. Well, not quite, because all of these, amazingly, are true. Don't believe it? Is truth stranger than fiction? Well, we present the facts here, make up your own mind. If you want to challenge any of these allegations, then please do, and we'll follow up with a deeper dive. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel and click the notification button so you don't miss out on any future video releases. Project Sunshine. The US government became worldwide body snatchers in the 1950s. Project Sunshine was a series of research studies that began in 1953 to ascertain the impact of radioactive fallout on the world's population. In the Cold War era, the US government, along with the Russians, began to test nuclear bombs of increasing size and yield. The US government and US AEC, the United States Atomic Energy Commission, wanted to investigate the impact of strontium-90 on the human body. They were particularly interested in the young, whose developing bones have the highest accumulation of strontium-90, which accumulates as bones grow. An actual quote from the AEC Commissioner, Dr. Willard Libby, speaking about human tissue samples was, "I don't know how to get them, but I do say that it's a matter of prime importance to get them, and particularly in the young age group. So human samples are often of prime importance, and if anybody knows how to do a good job of body snatching, they will really be serving their country." Unbelievable. As a result, they collected over 1,500 samples of tissues from babies and young children from countries as far apart as Europe and Australia. These included whole limbs and were often taken without their parents' consent. It wasn't until half a century later that the world became aware of the scientific horrors of Project Sunshine. Bad booze. During Prohibition, the US government killed masses of people by deliberately poisoning industrial alcohol. In actual fact, the manufacturers of the industrial alcohol had already been lacing their product with poisons for many years prior to Prohibition. However, from 1926 up until 1933, the government pushed manufacturers to increase the amounts and types of poisons in their product. By the end of Prohibition, it's estimated that at least 10,000 people had died due to consuming tainted booze. During that time, the federal government had pushed manufacturers to use stronger and stronger poisons to discourage bootleggers from turning the alcohol into moonshine. A woman ran the United States. From October 1919, Edith Wilson effectively operated as the President of the United States. On the 2nd of October 1919, Woodrow Wilson, the then President, suffered a serious stroke, leaving him paralysed on his left side and with only partial vision in his right eye. As a result, he was confined to bed for weeks. His wife, Edith, stepped in and insulated the President, who was said to have had an altered personality following the stroke. The public were kept in the dark about the stroke. In the meantime, Edith began selecting matters for Wilson's attention and delegated other matters to his cabinet as she saw fit. For the remainder of his office, Edith effectively managed the office of the President. She would later call this stewardship. Historians have concluded that effectively, for 1 year, Edith Wilson was President of the USA. The Dalai Lama is an agent of the CIA. During the 1960s and for nearly 2 decades, the CIA ran a covert operation focused on Tibet, aiming to disrupt Chinese influence in the area and generally. Following the release of declassified intelligence documents in the US, it is evident that the Dalai Lama earned at least $180,000 in salary in connection with the CIA's funding of the Tibetan resistance. The resistance itself was paid up to $2 million. The job appears to have ended after the visit of President Nixon to China, which was criticised by the Dalai Lama, saying, "It's proved that the US never did it to help the people of Tibet." John Lennon was spied on by the FBI. When you hear stories like this, sometimes you wonder if it would make a better story to find someone that the FBI didn't spy on. However, it is an absolute fact. The FBI put Lennon under surveillance in 1971. The Immigration and Naturalization Service tried to deport him a year later. Lennon was considered a threat, it seems, for being a counterculture hero. It would be an understatement to say that anti-war songs like Give Peace a Chance didn't really fit with the Nixon administration's ethos. The government is spying on you. Yes, you. The government is using the data gathered by mass media outlets like Facebook and Google to spy on people. From data gathered in 2016, government agencies sent 50,000 requests for data to Facebook, 28,000 requests to Google, and 9,000 to Apple. The worrying thing is that, while this information has been gathered through the Freedom of Information requests, we don't have any analysis of what the data is actually being used for. The government made up a fake battle in 1964. This was known as the Gulf of Tonkin incident and was created to push American support for the Vietnam War. After some skirmishes with the North Vietnamese Navy on August 2, 1964, the NSA, National Security Agency, made up a battle said to have taken place on August 4, 1964. According to the military, the USS Maddox engaged with North Vietnamese torpedo boats off the coast of North Vietnam and in the process sunk 2 of them. Robert McNamara in 2003 admitted that the August 4th Gulf of Tonkin attack never happened. The event opened the floodgates for direct American military involvement in Vietnam. Big Tobacco knew about the dangers of smoking and hid them. For many decades, the big tobacco companies lied about and suppressed clear evidence about the dangers of smoking. At the beginning of the 1950s, research was starting to show an indisputable statistical link between smoking and lung cancer, but it wasn't until the late 1990s that Philip Morris even admitted that smoking could cause cancer. In 2006, the American Cancer Society and other plaintiffs won a major court battle against Big Tobacco. They were found to have violated civil racketeering RICO laws. Judge Gladys Kessler found tobacco companies guilty of lying to the American public about the deadly effects of cigarettes and second-hand smoke. Judge Kessler said that tobacco companies marketed and sold their lethal products with zeal, with deception, and with a single-minded focus on their financial success, and without regard for the human tragedy or social costs that success exacted. Canada invented gaydar. In the 1960s, the Canadian government was so concerned and paranoid about homosexuality that it developed a gaydar machine. It hired a university professor to develop a way to detect homosexuality in federal employees. He came up with a machine that measured pupil dilation in response to same-sex erotic imagery. It had the epithet fruit machine, a derogatory term for homosexuals at the time. The Canadian government used it to exclude or fire more than 400 men from the civil service, the military and the Mounties. In all, over 9,000 people had files on them collected by the police as a result of the use of the fruit machine. The science behind the machine, its operation and use, has been thoroughly debunked in the years since. The US government is directly linked to the Illuminati. You can actually check this one yourself. There is a link that you can test for yourself between the US government and the Illuminati. We'll demonstrate it here for you, then you can check it for yourself. Type this into a browser, www.itanimulli.com. Where does this go? Well, it takes you to nsa.gov, which is the home page of the US National Security Agency Central Security Service. So what's the link with the Illuminati? Well, Spell the website ITANIMULLI backwards and you'll prove the link for yourself. What connects all of these? Well, they're not conspiracy theories. Instead, they're true. We hope you've enjoyed this rundown of some conspiracy theories that actually turn out to be true. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the notification button so you don't miss out on any future videos. If you have any favourite conspiracy theories or opinions about the true stories we've just shown, then please leave a comment below.